for Smithtown West. You can hear the West Islip supporters. They don't like that call, but a chance here. Juliana Cabello, one of the stalwart defenders for Smithtown West, with a golden opportunity here as we approach over 33 minutes remaining in the second half.
Gonna move the girls back to 10 feet.
Cabello on goal. It's tapped away by Leffler, and it'll be a corner kick for Smithtown West. Leffler having to be alert there.
That was a very alert play, more alert than it originally seemed. You think that ball's going to go wide, but Leffler, seeing the Smithtown West crashing that cage, pushes it out to the side so that they can't get a foot on it. That's a smart play. What a heads-up play.
That was absolutely by design by Smithtown West. Corner kick taken. Leffler gets a hand on it. Not out of danger yet. Cross into the box, and Leffler stops it from going across the face of the net. Would have been a very dangerous cross. Callie Leffler bailing out West Islip there.
Well, that was two great plays now by Leffler, really heads up, understanding what's going on, and not giving up any second chance opportunities. But Smithtown West is starting to feel it a little bit.
4-1 Smithtown West with the shots advantage. And coach, it just looks as if Smithtown West physically is really starting to wear down West Islip. As I say that, the Lions come back with a chance of their own. Kylie Walsh right there about 8 yards from goal with a chance of her own. Just could not get enough on that shot.
No, Walsh has an opportunity here, getting the ball and trying to make something happen. And you'll see right here, realizes right there. Now, had she looked up, she had a attacker, Constantino, right to her left, but didn't quite see her there.
That's those kind of opportunities where West Islip hasn't really had a prime scoring opportunity up until this point, and now you see the ball at your feet about 8 yards from goal. Those are the kind of opportunities, they may come few and far in between for West Islip. As Smithtown West continues to try to push forward here. They have controlled play here in the second half. As substitutions for West Islip.
Really, West Islip is just trying to slow down the pace of this game, and I don't blame them. They don't want to get into an all-out shootout here, end-to-end horse race. They really want to get the ball out of their defensive end, keep it out there for a little while, give their defense a chance to rest. They have really not had a good 3 to 5 minute offensive hold where their defense has had a chance to rest.
Nick Greco, head coach for West Islip, sending in number 17, Jonna DiCarlo. So DiCarlo in the game for West Islip. The winner of this game will take on Massapequa in the Long Island Championship. Massapequa defeating Hicksville yesterday, so congratulations to them. And well, if West Islip has one more upset win in them, they would set up a rematch of the 2009 Long Island Championship game that they won. But before they can have visions of that, they have to allay another chance here for Smithtown West. So dangerous on these set pieces. Good ball sent to the top of the box. As Walsh trying to play it out of danger. And Pagliazzo plays it in midfield. Cassidy Roman disrupting Smithtown West from getting out of their own end of the field. We've seen a lot of that from West Islip. No call on throwing, and it's going to be Smithtown West ball. Under 30 to play here in the second half. No score from Dowling College. Class AA Championship, Suffolk County. The 5 seed West Islip, the number 2 seed Smithtown West. Sadiq Faruqi and Tracy Weiner on hand here at Dowling College. Glad to have you aboard. on Verizon Fios One Sports. As Doust tries to control it. Another great job there by West Islip defensively to get it off her feet.
Yeah, they definitely sent a double team immediately, recognizing there were no other white shirts around that they had to defend.
Cassidy Roll trying to get on the end of that. And again, West Islip, coach, that's the second counterattacking opportunity that they've had so far, with Smithtown West really pushing forward. Those chances might be there for them here late in the second half.
They might be. You know, West Islip always has that knack of hanging around, and making something happen.
So again, the winner of this game will advance to take on Massapequa in the Long Island Championship game. Both teams really going at it right now. You're starting to see some players starting to show that universal sign of, I'm a little out of breath right now. It's a big moment, championship game, as the ball's played back in.
Well, and there has to be some sort of tightness starting to build up ultimately. Look, you know, both times you played, it was a 1-0 game. Either way, you know it's for everything right now. You know, you win and you move on. You lose, and tomorrow you meet the hand in your uniforms. And there's something so special about playing in a game like that that I can't even begin to describe it to you.
Coach Nick Greco talking about his West Islip squad. And Coach, we talked about this before the broadcast. They are on an emotional high right now. It's a team that plays with a lot of spirit, a lot of emotion. As you see the passion in the way that they're defending here this evening, and really they've used that passion in a red-hot second half run. Talked about that upset victory over Northport in the semifinals, but a very emotionally charged run making it here at the finals.
Well, and I got to experience that firsthand last spring. We played West Islip in the Long Island Championships, and to watch them come out, they are a tight group. It is a tight community. Stands are always packed. They have a ton of support. The girls really enjoy each other. There's such a sense of camaraderie. And you'll see right here, this is their first opportunity to be down deep.
It's created by Cassidy Rollman, and he's going to look there at the West Islip community on hand here. They are here in numbers, loud, and having a great time here at this championship game. And a corner kick for West Islip created by Cassidy Rollman. She's been all over the field for West Islip here in the second half.
Certainly what you expect from your senior, who doesn't want this to be her last game.
It's going to be Dominique Sarcona, the junior, to take this pivotal corner kick. Sarcona sends it in low. It's headed out. It's going to be another corner, or rather, they're going to say it's a goal kick.
I think it hit off of West Islip. They both went up for the ball, off the head, and then off of West Islip.
So danger averted there for Smithtown West. So we'll get another look here.
See, here comes the ball up.
So Bernadette Savino playing it towards midfield, and there she is again. Cassidy Rollman running onto it for West Islip. Gritty effort here in the second half. Rollman trying to get a cross off. It's Jessica Bendetti. And now Harrington for Smithtown West. West Islip starting to show some gumption in the offensive third, as they'll have a throw in at midfield.
This is exactly what we spoke about before, where now you're giving your defense, though, some well-needed rest. They've been on their heels for most of the last half hour, and now they have a good 5 to 6 minute breather, and that's all they'll need to regenerate.
So a fairly deep throw in here for West Islip, as Nea Serta, senior captain defender, will throw this one in, trying to spring Rollman. And a goal kick coming up for Savino. We talked about West Islip's championship in 2009. As you get a look at the past Suffolk County Class AA champions, the aforementioned Northport winning it last year, back-to-back championships, and this time dethroned by West Islip.
When you look at least it's spread out. You know, when you look at some of the other brackets, I mean, in the A's, it's been Massapequa forever.
Sure.
And at Southside, who won the Bees yesterday. I mean, it's either been them or Garden City. It's not as spread out as the parity that we see in Suffolk County.
Rob Stretzmeyer looking on, seeing his team, Smithtown West, look dominant for periods in this game, just have not been able to crack this West Islip defense to this point. Cassidy Rollman for West Islip trying to win this ball. Now it's Paige Sherlock up ahead for Walsh. So West Islip trying to string together some passes in the offensive third, doing a much better job here over the last 5 minutes.
Absolutely. West Islip has definitely, you know, they've been in the offensive zone this whole time. It's a game of runs, and this is West Islip's run right now. And Smithtown West has to find a way to sustain this run and get back on the run themselves. And that seems to be how this game has gone so far, where, you know, Smithtown West has started strong, West Islip's had their run, and then Smithtown West has come back to dominate again.
Coach, from a coach's perspective,
yes.
You have the situation. We're heading late into the second half. You have the heavily favored team from Smithtown West, and then you have the underdogs in West Islip. As you get later into the second half, how much does the mental aspect play into it, where pressure starts to mount on the favorites, and then you have the scrappy underdogs starting to believe in themselves?
Well, I think the scrappy underdog already believed in themselves. This is, again,
chance here for West Islip trying to get a cross in. It looked to be Sherlock. And it's going to be a goal kick for Smithtown West. But again, this is something we saw early in the first half, Coach. West Islip attacking down that right flank. That formula worked, and now they're looking to go back to that.
I just think that both games that they have played have been 1-0 games. It's not as if one team even had a decided advantage during the season. So when we talk about Cinderella and all that, I don't know if I would really, I mean, if I'm a coach, I might try to use it to play into it. But in terms of being surprised, or this game, the way it's playing out being a surprise, I don't see it that way at all. I see it as mirroring exactly what's happened in the season, and this could be anybody's game at any point.
Spoken like a true coach. We approach just over 21 minutes remaining here in the second half. No score between Smithtown West and West Islip. From Dowling College, the Suffolk Class AA Championship games, Sadiq Faruqi and Tracy Weiner. Pleased to have you aboard here on Verizon Fios One Sports. That's Smithtown West, which have found themselves on the back heel over the last 3 to 5 minutes, trying to mount something in the offensive third themselves. West Islip not relenting along the top of the 18. And now Kylie Walsh tries to bring it down for West Islip. Walsh still on it, bumped off by Kuchia, no call. You see Walsh down on the ground in visible pain. Just took a big hit there, but no foul called.
Well, you'll see here, it's not that play, it's the second one right here is where she gets bumped off the ball. And she wants to shake it off, she wants to walk it off.
We'll be back here on Verizon Fios One Sports. No score here in the AA Championship.
This game is brought to you by Rutgers University. Rutgers, revolutionary for 250 years.
Founded before America's Revolution. Birthplace of college football. Transforming the arts, humanities, teaching, thinking, research. It's where we are, where we've been, where we're headed, always forward. Rutgers, revolutionary for 250 years.
I believe practice does make perfect. I believe my body is my temple. I believe nothing's gonna hold me back. Are you ready?
Gift of Life has saved the lives of 16,000 children from developing countries who suffer from heart disease.
Turn despair to hope by texting Gift of Life to 41444.
Kylie Walsh, senior captain for West Islip, after taking a big hit. Good to see her back on her feet. And hopefully what will just be a short breather on the West Islip bench.
Well, she didn't even want them to stop the game and take her out at this point. She's just going to get a quick rinse, shake off some of those stars that she's seeing right now, and she's going to ask to get back into this game. There's no question about it.
So it wasn't ruled a foul initially, so I'm curious as to see how they're going to restart play here, or if Smithtown West will just give the ball back to West Islip. We'll see. As coming into the game is Vanessa Casatino, as you get a look there at Rob Schretzmeyer having a word with the head official.
Well, it's either going to be a drop because there was no possession, or it's going to go back to Smithtown because Smithtown...
Well, it's going to be a drop ball, but we'll see if Smithtown West just decides to give the ball back to West Islip. And no, it's going to be a 50-50. So we'll have a restart in midfield as Miranda Gibbons has it taken away by Paige Sherlock. Sherlock has been all over the field, has done an excellent job defensively for West Islip. Ball across at the top of the 18. Shot opportunity for Vanessa Costantino. Could not get the bend she was looking for.
No, Costantino tries to stop the ball here, and right there tries to stop it, and then doesn't really get it in the position that she wanted it to get all the power behind it as the defense closed in on that.
Smithtown West back the other way. Doused, trying to make a run, but just like they've done all game long, West Islip closing down at the last minute.
We have talked about Smithtown West defense. I mean, obviously West Islip's defense has done an unbelievable job considering how potent the Smithtown West scoring is this season. Again, the first 2 times they played, they were 1-0 games each way. They shut them out one time and gave up only 1 goal. So whatever West Islip knows about playing defense works in their favor against the Smithtown West scheme. And we all know that offense will win your regular season games, but defense always wins your championships. That doesn't change in any sport. It doesn't change in any playoff run. This was not going to be a 7-0 game or a 6-0 game or an 8-7 game even. This is going to be a 1-0, 2-1 type game.
That's exactly what we're seeing playing out here this evening. Victoria Lynn Palazzolo, number 14, back into the game for Smithtown West. Nice little one-touch flick on by Miranda Gibbons. But again, West Islip closing down on defense. But the Bulls will have the throw-in in the offensive third, Marissa Funk. As West Islip tasked with the job of clearing it out again, it's Miranda Gibbons. Now Donovan trying to clear it. It's going to be a corner kick as Sherlock deflects it over the end line. And a dangerous opportunity here late in the second half as Smithtown West, where they're best, these dead ball opportunities, in particular corner kicks. Another chance here, Coach.
Well, this is exactly what Smithtown West was waiting for, an opportunity like this.
This one sent in beautiful at the 6-yard box, and a foul. It's going to be on Smithtown West. You can't deliver a better ball than that in that situation. Alexis Sheridan with a perfect corner kick.
Absolutely. And what happens here is the defense gets pushed out of the way there, so they're going to call a foul on Smithtown for that.
Douse trying to make another run, trying to go around 2 defenders. Runs out of real estate. And a goal kick for West Islip. Alicia Doust, 12 goals, 5 assists. Only a 9th grader. Started last year as an 8th grader. One of the true special talents on Long Island, part of the U.S. National Under-19 pool. So perhaps you'll be seeing her in a U.S. national team uniform in the near future. Smithtown West trying to establish Doust again. Doust trying to use her speed. Doust getting to the 18. This is Doust firing, and a save by Leffler.
That was an amazing scoring opportunity there. Doust did everything right but pick a corner. Everything right. She beat the defenders right here. Uses the speed burst, dribbling under control, but just goes straight down the middle there. But Leffler holds her ground and makes a great save.
if West Islip is to win this game, remember that play by Callie Leffler. Corner kick, Smithtown West. Another beauty. This one sent in and headed just over the crossbar. It looked to be Marissa Funk. It is. Funk getting the head on it. Has a wry smile on her face.
Well, Funk knows that this was the one. She was perfectly positioned in the right spot, out-jumped her defender, just couldn't direct it into the goal.
She knew it right away as soon as she hit that ball. She got a little bit more oomph on it. It's 1-0 Smithtown West. As it is, we are scoreless, approaching 15.5 to play. Here in the second half, things getting exciting here at Dowling College. Class AA championship game between Smithtown West and West Islip. Smithtown West starting to really lay it on thick.
We talked about this being a game of runs, and Smithtown West withheld West Islip's run initially and now had a run of their own. And let's see now that West Islip hasn't broke and they haven't given up a goal, if they can put a little more pressure now in these last 15 minutes.
You heard a sarcastic cheer from the West Islip faithful after that foul was called.
Nah, come on.
So West Islip now with a chance to send numbers forward. This is Sherlock. She's played well this evening. Paige Sherlock surveying her options. Tries to spring Kelsey Krupski. And that pass evading Krupski. And it'll be a goal kick. Another substitution, couple of substitutions for West Islip. As from a distance, it looks as if Kylie Walsh, number 1, is checking back into the game, as is Jessica Benedetti. So 2 starters, Walsh and Benedetti, checking back in for West Islip.
Coming into the game for West Islip, number 1, Kylie Walsh. And number 2, Jessica.
You knew Walsh was going to get back into this game. There was no way they were going to be able to keep her out.
So good to see Walsh, after taking that big hit and having to leave the game, back in this crucial championship game. Class AA, Suffolk County, West Islip and Smithtown West. The winner advances to the Long Island Championship game, where they will face Massapequa, who defeated Hicksville yesterday, as Smithtown West will make another substitution.
Coming in the game for West Islip, number 13, Sarah Harrington.
And Sarah Harrington co-checks back in. Harrington, to our estimation, has had the most chances of anyone on the field. And really, it just seems as if it's a matter of time before she puts one in the back of the net.
Well, she's definitely had some great scoring opportunities, and she would love one more right about now.
So a deep throw-in for the Bulls of Smithtown West. Under 13 to play here in the second half. West Islip continuing to stave off attack after attack. Rihanna Kutsia playing it back in for Smithtown West. Giving chase there is Victoria Lynn Palazzolo.
This is really a great opportunity right here for Smithtown West. You're getting to that crucial part of the game, the last 10 minutes or so, 12-minute mark, where a goal here would be so difficult to come back on and score.
Ball fought for along the goal line, and it's going to be another corner kick for Smithtown West. And if the last 2 corners have been in any indication, this is going to be another great chance for the Bulls.
Absolutely. And they're just setting it up. They're being real patient, real smart here.
It'll be Alexis Sheridan. Sheridan sends in another beauty. It's palmed away by Leffler, and a foul. So it's going to be on Smithtown West, but that is the 3rd straight corner kick. You can't overstate it, that Alexis Sheridan has sent in perfectly to the 6-yard box.
Yeah, but for whatever the reason is, there has to be something where they recognize that when they set Leffler up in a certain spot, there's going to be contact, and Smithtown West keeps getting called for interference with the goalie. You have to allow her to make that play. They keep putting a body on the goalie, and Leffler keeps getting those calls.
The West Islip faithful arguing that may have been a handball, but instead it is a foul on West Islip. Alicia doused. This time marked heavily by Paige Sherlock, as West Islip tries to clear it out of their own end of the field. Under 10 minutes to play here in the second half. This is Kylie Walsh. Walsh down the left flank is taken down by Cabello. No call. And it's going to be a throw-in for Smithtown West.
Walsh is doing everything humanly possible to stay on here. You know, she's still hurting from the last time. She brings the ball down right here, gets ready to send it across, and there's some contact there, but
she's a soccer player. What else can you say? Taking 2 big hits in this game, she manages to stay on the field, not wanting to come out of this championship game as we approach under 10 minutes to play here in the Suffolk Class AA championship game from Dowling College. And is this going to be a throw-in for West Islip? No, it's going to be a free kick for Smithtown West. Under 9.5 to play, no score. West Islip and Smithtown West. West Islip, the 5 seed. Smithtown West, the 2 seed, coming into this game with a 63-4 goal differential, as the Bulls of Smithtown West will make a substitution.
Coming into the game for Smithtown West, number 10.
As Miranda Gibbons will come back into the game, replacing the junior Victoria Lynn Palazzolo. Whistle blows as Sydney Donovan took a shot to the back of the head. And Smithtown West will have a free kick here, and really anything in the offensive third can be considered a dangerous opportunity given their set piece ability and sheer size. This one played in, nicely headed away by Cassidy Rollman.
that's again another opportunity there that gets out to the second level, but you'll see here, looks like Gibbons is the one the ball comes out to right here. She gets a foot on it, but it drives it over the top. And that's another bullet dodged by West Islip, you know, deep in there, having an opportunity to really make something happen. Only 8 minutes left in regulation at this time. You know, again, and you know, you feel like if somebody is to score at this point in the game, that it's going to be the one.
So West Islip trying to stave off yet another wave of offensive attacks by this offensive juggernaut in Smithtown West. And another deep throw-in coming up. Harrington plays it towards goal, and Leffler just wisely patting it down. Callie Leffler has been phenomenal in between the posts. The junior really providing stability there, anchoring that back line. We talked about the shutout she pitched against Northport and Hauppauge in the playoffs, but she's been equally as impressive this evening, Coach.
Yeah, she's pretty stingy there, and not intimidated at all by Smithtown's ability to score and everything that they bring to the offensive end of the field. Just stands her ground, does what she has to do, and that's what, you know, goalies are a unique breed. You just got to kind of leave them alone and let them do their thing.
And not to mention a game-saving save against Alicia Doust. Doust with the best opportunity of the game from about 8 yards out, dead square center, and Leffler just calmly parrying it over the bar. And again, if West Islip is to somehow win this game, that is a play that will live in West Islip girls soccer history in a very favorable light as another substitution for West Islip. Kelsey Krupski, number 26, will check back in.
Well, every substitution takes about another 10 or 15 seconds off the clock, gives everybody an opportunity to catch their breath, and you know, that's what West Islip is trying to do right now. They're trying to get into, you know, obviously an overtime type period, or, you know, obviously if they have an opportunity to score, they want to win it outright. But Smithtown West is trying to win this in regulation, starting to put as much pressure on as they can, and West Islip just needs to keep it out of their own end.
Smithtown West looking for their first ever Suffolk title. Opportunity for West Islip. Ball along the goal line and poked away. Deep throw in here for the Lions. West Islip last winning the Suffolk and Long Island Championship back in 2009. And with a win here tonight would set up a rematch of that 2009 Long Island Championship game with Massapequa. Ball at the face of the 18, cleared out. Harrington boots it into West Islip territory. West Islip trying to make this more of a run and gun game.
West Islip challenges you every chance you get. You can't get a clean shot off. Nobody has a lot of green space to work the ball. As soon as you get the ball on your feet, you have to know what you're doing with it, because you will have somebody on you before you can even think of what comes next.
This is Harrington. Harrington crosses it into the box, and carefully corralling it is Callie Leffler. But another dangerous chance there for Smithtown West, and Leffler cool, calm, and collective.
Leffler, again, has been so smart. And here, you know, do you catch it on the fly? She decides, I'm just going to let it bounce. Even though there's a streaking attacker coming down, you know, City Donovan was coming down there. Didn't really get close enough to cause her any problems. Just catches it and does what she has to do. Approaching
under 4 minutes to play here in the second half. No score between West Islip and Smithtown West. Suffolk County Class AA Championship game on Verizon Finals One Sports. Sadiq Faruqi and Tracy Weiner on hand here at Dowling College. Beautiful Golden Lions Field on the campus of Dowling College. Beautiful night, the weather cooperating, an excellent night for soccer.
No question about it. This would be a nice night even if it was lacrosse season.
Smithtown West out shooting West Islip 23-9. And coach, if you looked at the first half where West Islip came out, really had an offensive surge, it's been night and day ever since that point. But this is what West Islip does. They really are so strong defensively. They'll let you get some shots off, nothing really dangerous, nothing really. This one cross, dangerous chance here. It's headed wide by Gianna DiCarlo. She had the game on the top of her head. She was uncovered, was DiCarlo. This is a great opportunity here out of nowhere. And right here, DiCarlo, if she can find a way to direct that into the cage, she had every chance. She had no defender on her, and she had the goalie moving on that. So both teams having close calls, and West Islip having a magnificent opportunity there. As coach, you said it really from nothing, but the Lions continuing to apply pressure here. Rollman earns a corner for West Islip. And this is again what West Islip does. All of a sudden, you know, it looks like they're about to have some trouble, and now they've had tremendous scoring opportunities. Cassidy Rollman to line this one up. Approaching 2 minutes to play. Headed away by Marissa Funk. Still not out of danger yet.
At the 2-minute mark, the scoreboard clock is turned off and the time is kept by the referees on the field.
So we are now officially under 2 minutes to play here in the second half. No score between West Islip and Smithtown West. If this game remains scoreless, we will have 2-minute non-sudden death overtime sessions. There are two 10-minute overtime periods that have to be played out. Both 10-minute periods. It's not golden goal. And if it remains tied, we will have 2 5-minute non-sudden death sessions after that. And if the game remains tied or that, we go to penalties. West Islip bending but not breaking defensively. As we approach under a minute to play unofficially here in this championship game, which looks like it's going to be staring down the barrel of overtime.
You never know. You know, Smithtown scored in the last
7 seconds remaining. Great point.
Yeah, so it's not uncommon to them.
Smithtown scoring off a corner kick against Lindenhurst in the semifinals, no less. But West Islip continuing to remain staunch on defense. We approach 20 seconds. Does Smithtown West have another offensive opportunity in them? Sheridan covered Donovan with blue shirts all around her. Ball sent in. Nothing doing there. West Islip remains resolute on defense, and that's going to do it. The Suffolk County Class AA Championship game is going to overtime. West Islip and Smithtown West. It'll be 2 10-minute non-sudden death overtime sessions. If it remains tied, 2 5-minute sessions. And if it goes tied beyond that, penalty kicks. We will be back for the start of the overtime session on Verizon Files 1 Sports.
Glare. It can really affect your driving day and night. So what do? We flip down a visor, but it blocks our view. It's dangerous. But now, here's a simple solution. It's the HD Vision Visor. Dark is for day, and light, it's for night. We've now enhanced your view instead of blocking your vision to reduce the headlight glare that you get in the evenings. You simply attach it to the visor that's already in your car. Anyone can do it. This could be the sun or a headlight hitting you in the eyes when you're trying to drive down the road. But with the HD Vision Visor, that glare is diminished. You don't have it hitting you right in the face, whether it's nighttime in the headlights or even just this reflection off the snow in the winter, it's not going to be an issue. You get your HD Vision Visor for only $14.99. If you order 2 or more, your entire order ships for free. That's right, free. Order yours today.
To order your HD Vision Visor, call 1-800-708-7001. That's 1-800-708-7001. Or go online to hdvisionvisor.com. Order now.
Everyone to visit them for their facility needs.
Back here at Dowling College, where the Suffolk County Class AA Championship game will be decided in either overtime or shootout as we begin the first of 2 10-minute non-sudden death overtime periods. So you get a look there at the overtime rules. As mentioned, 2 10-minute non-sudden death periods. If the game remains tied, then we go to 2 5-minute golden goal periods. And if it's still tied beyond that, teams will go to penalty kicks. Each team will receive 5 penalty kicks. Score remains tied 0-0. Let's get a look at the second half opportunities brought to you by Rutgers University.
I'll tell you what, Smithtown West had some unbelievable opportunities here. None better than this one. Doust really had a great, but nice save by Leffler hanging in there. A couple corner kicks coming up here. Great opportunities. But again, you see Leffler causing all kinds of contact. You have to let her get those balls. She's pushing up, causing offsides, doing everything that she can. Then West Islip right here has an unbelievable opportunity to end this game late, but was unable to convert. Was Gianna DiCarlo on that play.
As we get ready for the first overtime session, the 2-seed Smithtown West and the 5-seed West Islip. We are underway here in overtime. Coach, what are you looking for now at the end of 2 regulation periods? Championship game atmosphere, both teams not relenting on defense. I'm curious to see who decides to step up and take over and choose to be the hero or the GOAT. That's always what I look for in a championship format. You have both of these teams have seniors on there that want to graduate as champions. Both of these teams have underclassmen that are extremely talented, 2 goalies that are stingy.
I'm just curious to see who's the one that says, I'm just going to do what I have to do, and I'll lead my team to victory.
You get a look there, a good look at both coaches, Rob Schretzmeyer of Smithtown West, Nick Greco off West Islip. Both coaches now in their 7th season at the helm, and both have done such an excellent job with the respective programs, getting them to this stage.
And there's no magic formula at this time. All that goes out of the window. You're in the final, you know, 2 10-minute periods. The only time really now strategy will come into play is if one team scores. There'll be a strategy for the team that has to score to tie, and there'll be a strategy for the team that has to hold the lead.
West Islip in the blue, Smithtown West in the white. As West Islip trying to push the issue here early on in the first overtime period. Again, in the first 2 10 minutes, there is no golden goal. If the game remains tied after the 2 10-minute periods, then we go to 2 5-minute golden goal periods.
Golden goal, who came up with that? You know, when I grew up, it was sudden death. That was it. I mean, let's go old school
That's
tonight.
not from the same school as 1-0 versus 1-0.
Or co-champions.
Or we're playing on the field as opposed to we're on the pitch. I still have that World Cup hangover right now, so the terms are still there. So Smithtown West, another good defensive stoppage there by West Islip. And again, we mentioned the name of Paige Sherlock, number 8 for West Islip. Coach, you talked about players stepping up, and in this no bigger setting than a championship game, we have seen players on both sides step up. And again, we mentioned the name of Paige Sherlock, and we've seen the defensive plays she's made all over the field. And then you look no further than the player in between the pipes, Callie Leffler, a big reason why we're playing in this overtime session.
Absolutely. Leffler's played very calm and confident, but the West Islip defense for me is the story of this game. They have withstood everything that Smithtown West has thrown at them. All different players. They haven't, you know, had to key on just one player. It's not like Smithtown was relying on one young lady to score. There's been 4, 5, 6 different players who have taken legitimate shots on goal and have really had scoring opportunities, and they just have not really allowed them to get that close, other than the one shot by Doust.
Both teams very organized on defense.
Both teams are well conditioned. This game has not slowed down at all.
Alicia Doust, who had the best opportunity of the game, robbed point blank by Callie Leffler. As West Islip will have a throw-in the offensive third. Kelsey Krupski, who's subbed in 3 times in this game, making things happen for West Islip.
Well, there's something to be said for fresh legs in the 85th minute. You know, that's got to help.
Caitlin Appel, number 10, checking back in for West Islip. Appel had a goal earlier this season against Santa Reach, a sophomore.
There's a nice throw in there by Serta. That's a nice game day braid, by the way. I'm gonna have to ask her maybe after the game how she did that. Her hair is fabulous.
Well, maybe she'll be in a good mood when you ask her that question.
Maybe.
As Smithtown West looks to attack down the left flank. Good run here by Gibbons. Miranda Gibbons crossed it into the box. And just unable to connect there was Doust.
That's the second great scoring opportunity. Doust has had the best scoring opportunities by far this evening and just narrowly misses that one.
The freshman with 2 chances to win the Suffolk County Championship as you get another look here.
Right here's the cross, beautiful cross right there. Wow, she just missed that.
Had she connected, Smithtown West is up 1-0.
It was a great setup. I mean, you can't ask for a better play than that.
Headed back deep into Smithtown, into the field. Not sure if that's what Allie Rainey had intended. And it's going to be a throw-in for West Islip.
I tell you, Gibbons makes some really nice feeds on the Smithtown end. She's really an unselfish player.
Long throwing by Serta. Serta's going to run onto this one, trying to play it back into the 18. Naya Serta. Gianna DiCarlo has it poked away. It's going to be a throw-in for Smithtown West. Smithtown West going to have another substitution.
Coming in for Smithtown, number 13, Sarah Harrington.
As Sarah Harrington will check back in. Harrington had a treasure trove of chances in this game. Correction, it's going to be actually Victoria Lynn Palazzo, number 14, not 13. So Victoria Lynn Palazzo, the junior who's checked in 3-4 times in this game, is back in this crucial stretch as West Islip will respond with 2 substitutions of their own, one of which is going to be Kylie Walsh. And we've seen Kylie Walsh take 2 very hard
West Islip, number 1,
contacts. And
she's going to know tomorrow morning that she played today, that's for sure, because she'll probably have to get up early and sit herself in an ice bath.
Walsh has really thrown herself all over the field this evening, has been the subject of some physical play, but she has managed to stay in this game. A senior captain, you're not taking her out of this championship game as we approach 2.5 minutes to play in this first overtime session. No score between Smithtown West and West Islip. The winner of this game advances to the Long Island Championship game to take on Massapequa, who defeated Hicksville last night. Leffler boots it out to midfield. DiCarlo trying to make a run onto it. Looks for Walsh up ahead. Walsh trying to run onto it. And it's going to be a deep throw-in for West Islip with under 2 minutes to play here in the first overtime session.
I'll tell you that other than that one play that Doust had, West Islip's dominated this 10-minute period.
West Islip continues to attack that right flank. That has been their formula for success. And a deep throw in here. Now this one played across the box. Can someone get a foot on it? Rollman was there, missed on the initial chance, and then was stood up by 2 defenders. And now Alicia Doust. Doust on the right flank. 2 defenders, has it taken away by Kohler. Doust relentless trying to get the ball back. And it's going to be a throw-in for West Islip. Excitement every time Doust is around the ball.
Absolutely. And she just looks like she's having fun playing the game, too. Doesn't matter that it's the biggest game of her season so far. And that's what you like to see. You know, no nerves. There's no need. You're just out there playing the sport that you love, wearing your high school proudly on your chest and giving it all you have.
I think that's the most important point right there, Coach. She showed no nerves. A 14-year-old. Now, granted, this is her second year on the varsity, but playing obviously a much bigger role on this year's varsity edition, and has her team on the precipice of a Suffolk County title. And she has been in the middle of it all, has shown no nerves, has not shied down from any situations, as we have roughly 15 seconds remaining in the first overtime session, as West Islip just trying to stave off another Smithtown West attack. This ball played in deep, and no one able to get a head on it, and that's how the first 10-minute overtime session will end. No score between West Islip and Smithtown West. We'll be back for the second 10-minute overtime session on Verizon Fios One Sports.
It's High School Sports Championship Month. Watch as Fios One News presents Nassau County Section 8 and Suffolk County Section 11 soccer, field hockey, volleyball, and football championship games. Be on the sidelines for the championship moments on channels 501 and 1 and anytime on demand. All this month, tune in Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 7:30 p.m. and on weekends at 12:30 p.m. on FiOS 1 News, only on Verizon FiOS TV.
It all started with this. The inner blaze of a devotion diamond ring. More facets, more brilliance, and an incredible inner blaze. Like no other diamond in the world.
Back here at Dowling College for the start of the second overtime session. West Islip and Smithtown West in a scoreless draw. Big reason for that has been the play of Callie Leffler, the West Islip goaltender. As you get another look at the Suffolk AA girls soccer bracket, West Islip having to defeat Lindenhurst with a dramatic goal with 7 seconds remaining in regulation. West Islip dethroning the two-time back-to-back champions Northport. And that's where we stand here. Second 10-minute overtime session here at Dowling College. If there is no score after this 10-minute session, we will go to 5-minute golden goal sessions. As both teams, coach, continue to relent defensively. Alicia Doust. And again, West Islip standing up strong on defense.
Coach would have liked her to kick that ball upfield as opposed to out of bounds. They had so much space, and they had taken the ball away from Doust beautifully.
You got to look there at Nick Greco. Has to love what he is seeing out of his team this evening, and really what he has seen out of his team in the second half of this season. West Islip finishing up 11-3 in conference play, 15-3-1 overall. Going up against a team in Smithtown West dominant all season long, 17-2, 13-1 in conference, the one loss coming to tonight's opponent.
At this point, one loss record, everything is out the window. It's, you know, you can't even consider it at this point. This is a championship game. This is the way it's supposed to be. These were the two hottest teams in the conference going at each other.
Rob Stretzmeyer, seventh-year coach for Smithtown West. Coach, put on your coaching cap. Second overtime session, obviously late in the season, championship setting. Legs start to get a little weary. What are you telling your team?
Well, you're telling them not to give up. I don't want to say like a quality scoring opportunity, because that's obvious. But what you don't want to do is pressure so hard to score that you give the other team an opportunity to get an unbalanced attack where they get a fast break of some sort. You don't want that at all, a broken play. So everybody's going to kind of stay home. Everybody's going to play smart. Right here we have a handball. So now you're going to allow Smithtown West to come in deep, and let's see what they can do. But on the set plays, go for it. Stick with what works for you. But on the open field, don't take too many chances.
So dangerous chance here for Smithtown West. It'll be Juliana Cabello. 40 yards out, low line drive, and nothing doing there.
And I don't think that was the play that she was looking for. And just sometimes you get a missed kick. It's not anything that you can change right here. Little low liner. Didn't get to the middle of the field or as high as she wanted it to go.
No, and Smithtown West has been so superb on their set pieces all night long. So again, it's late in the game, overtime session, championship games. This is where you're going to start to see really who's going to rise to the occasion as we approach under 7 minutes to play here in the second 10-minute overtime session. Again, this is not a golden goal session, so if a goal is scored, they will still play to the end of time. As West Islip throw in from their own end of the field. West Islip for the majority of the game has been on the counterattack, whereas Smithtown West has had periods where they have completely dominated possession, dominated time of play. and have had the ball in West Islip center of the field, just have been unable, Coach, to break that West Islip defensive back four.
And again, that's what West Islip's known for. That's what they're about. They're hard-nosed, physically fit, mentally tough, and they're not going to be intimidated by anybody at any time. If anything, they enjoy the role of coming in and people telling them that they can't get something done. I think they truly enjoy that.
West Islip pressuring the ball, trying to keep it in Smithtown west end of the field. No foul. Seen a lot of physical play between these two teams.
Physical, yes, for sure. But I would say chippy, dirty, not even a little. It's been such a clean game. It's been a fun game to watch. And even though there hasn't been a score, you still enjoyed every minute of this game so far.
As we approach under 5.5 to play in this first 10-minute overtime session, Smithtown West with a 2-0 shots on goal advantage in this frame. Ball really being battled for in the midfield confines. Neither team really able to establish a sustained possession over the course of the last couple of minutes. As we are halfway through in this second 10-minute overtime session. Doust giving chase is played away by Serta. And Sherlock will play it up the field, and a throw in at midfield for West Islip, as the Lions will make a substitution. Kylie Walsh coming out of the game.
She's just banged up, boy, that poor kid. I mean, she has taken the brunt of the physical play the entire evening.
Kelsey Krupski back into the game for the Lions. West Islip, do they have another shocker in them? Good job shielding the ball there by number 18, Brianna Kucha, one of the defensive stalwarts for this Smithtown West team. As the ball is chased down by Carly Kohler for West Islip. Coach, do you notice?
One of the major repairs I need to make is with all the fire damaged shingles on the side of the house. They look bad, but actually there's quite a bit we can salvage.
These are in excellent condition.
Yeah, those are great.
Like the paint's charred, but they're not charred. So like none of these need to be replaced, because I can feel how thick they still are. With the outside, I'm just taking whatever is charred and going away. But when we get over here, I don't want to tear up that whole wall. We're just gonna feather them in underneath. So we're gonna just basically reframe all these windows back in, but I have to keep kind of all these in place.
Replacement windows in the inside?
Yes, yeah. So we can pop all the boards off all these and then just kind of see where we're at. So this is where the fire stopped. Isn't that crazy? But all this should be nice, right? Oh, that looks perfect. This is the only thing that kept the entire house from burning down. I don't like siding on any house, but I'm so thankful that the Detroit house had a ton of aluminum siding. But what you need to know is this is cash right here. We have a whole house we took it off of, so we're gonna go scrapping today. Gonna go get our money's worth. The cost of this new material is still so much more than what we get at the scrapyard. So as much as I can reuse, I do. But on this particular project, I don't need any aluminum siding. 50 cents a pound for aluminum, which it takes a lot of aluminum to add up. Aluminum's very light. So I had 181 pounds of aluminum right there. Okay, so 50 cents, so I had 90 bucks in that pile.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, that's good news to me.
You got another full one like that, you
Yeah.
probably got another $90.
Right, okay. Can I buy the basket off you? Oh, is there? Yeah. Oh, we love these. Super cool. So I made 200 bucks and I got some really cool old milk crates. And now we have enough money to finish the outside of the house. It's a win-win today. So we're gonna give me a section that I can't screw up. That's not looking like a mushroom.
William Shatner takes on his next mission, renovating his home.
Here's Billy!
It's like a mind meld for the household.
Don't say mind meld.
Why?
So Star Trek.
The Shatner Project, all new Thursday at 10, only on DIY Network. It's time for another Kitchen Crashers Quick Tip.
Hi, I'm Allison Victoria. I'm not a huge fan of accent walls, but I do love bringing in color with paint. With a little painter's tape, you can make a big difference.
Painter's tape can be used to create any kind of pattern on any wall, but wait at least 48 hours after your base coat is dried before you get started. For stripes, use a level to make sure your lines are straight, and then apply the tape firmly to prevent paint from bleeding under. Contrasting paint colors create a dramatic look, or similar colors add a more calming effect. The direction of your stripes makes a difference too. Horizontal stripes make the room appear more spacious, while vertical stripes add height. After you've painted your pattern, simply remove the tape to see the masterpiece you've created.
Whether you go with horizontal or vertical stripes, your wall will become a real focal point.
Watch Kitchen Crashers, all new tomorrow at 9, only on DIY Network.
This picture, it's a memory. It's a beautiful day with a special someone with a great smile. This is Fracture. Just upload an image, place your order, and it'll show up at your door, beautifully printed directly on glass, with everything you need to display it on your wall. A picture is a discovery. A picture is a triumph, and a feeling, and a connection. And this isn't just another frame, not just another canvas. This is new. This is a Fracture. Visit fractureme.com and print one today.
What if we finally had a backyard?
That would be amazing. Hey, what if we took down this wall?
What if this was my art studio?
What if we were pre-approved?
Shut up.
From finding to financing.
How'd you do that?
Zillow.
Lumber Liquidators has hot flooring deals for the holidays. Top quality laminate, Nirvana Plus is all on sale. And best-selling Morningstar Bamboo is all on sale. Plus great deals on pre-finished hardwood with no interest until 2016 on flooring and installation. Sale ends Tuesday at Lumber Liquidators.
Brought to you by Lumber Liquidators. Hardwood floors for less.